Bibles back up to 1 John, chapter 1. That's what we're going to do. 1 John, chapter 1. I'm going to pull up the first slide here. Hey, anyone know who this man is right here? He's got the rocket hairdo, right? No, it is not the guy that's on the UPS commercials that draws up on the blackboard and stuff. That's not him. Looks like him a little bit, huh? In 1543, a Polish astronomer named Nicholas Copernicus published a book in which he described how the sun, not the earth, was the center of the universe. Before, everyone thought that the earth was it, everything revolved around the earth. In 1543, this man, Nicholas Copernicus, published his book. It was, whoa, okay. Hold on here, this blows our mind. This is beyond our thinking. We always thought it was the earth, everything revolved around the earth, but now you're saying it's the sun that's the center of the universe? And now we know that that's even wrong, because the sun isn't the center of the universe, right? Center of solar system, right? Or just our solar system. And go to the next slide. In 1687, an English mathematician published his book in which he gave forth a law that hypothesized the relationship between objects and the gravitational pull on them. And we know what this man's name was: Sir Isaac Newton. In 1866, an Augustinian monk published a paper about his findings and experiences with pea plants. When it was first published, and for 30 years after that, most people did not care or even know about his findings. Yet, however, now his discoveries in the scientific realm of genetics has granted him the title of Father of Modern Genetics. And what was his name? Gregor Mendel. Yeah. So, these three men that we have here, we just took a look at, when they made their discoveries, when Copernicus first made his discovery that the sun was the center of the universe, at that point, is that when the sun, before that the earth was the center of the universe, oh, it's the sun. Boom! Now the sun's the center of the universe, right? Was it like that? No. Or was everything kind of floating around in space, and then Isaac Newton was like, there's got to be something that's a relationship between it, and all of a sudden that's the way it was. That all of a sudden now things are attracted to each other and there's gravitational pull. Or before Mendel discovered the whole science of genetics, and everything kind of worked another way, and then he discovered genetics, and like all of a sudden now it works like that. No, these things were always were in existence before these men discovered. These men merely discovered what already was, what already had been. Right? Now all these things that they discovered, they too had a beginning. There was always a beginning for these, and these, the creation, sense of creation of the world. But in the same way, similar but not exactly like, because all these things had a beginning, the Apostle John was a discoverer. Right? He saw things and he relayed them to people. He wrote them down for people. But what he discovered had always been since eternity past. There isn't really a word for it, right? Because you can't say because God doesn't have a beginning. We can never wrap our minds around that God extends eternally in this direction and extends eternally in this direction. And we hear that and we say, yeah, I know that. But to really sit there and think about it, meditate on it, wow. God has always, there hasn't been, because our minds, our finite minds, there has to be a beginning to everything, right? That's how our minds work. But he always been. And John was merely, as these men were, of their discoveries. John was merely a witness, a discoverer of what had always been. So let's look at the text here. 1 John 1, in the first verse there. That which was from the beginning. Let's stop there. I can't get very far. That was which was from the beginning. I want to take a look at that word beginning. Because what we just said. Now, does this mean that is John saying that Jesus Christ had a beginning? Because there are some people out there that will say that God the Father created God the Son. There are people out there that say that. Is John saying that was which from the beginning? That's what it says right there. He's saying that Jesus had a beginning. That was from the beginning. But let's look at it, because is this the only book that the Apostle John wrote? No. What's another really famous one that he wrote? Revelation. What else? The Gospel of John. Yeah, the Gospel of John. So and this is eerily similar to what passage in the Gospel of John? The very first one. The very first one. In the beginning was the Word, right? We're going to take a look at that. So if everyone wants to jump over to the Gospel of John, chapter 1. And keep this phrase from 1 John in mind, that which was from the beginning. And then we look at John chapter 1, first 2 verses there. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. So is this beginning referring to Jesus' beginning, or is it referring to what we know as the beginning? What we know as the beginning. Because what we can fathom is all that we know is from the creation of the world. Right? All that we know from the beginning of history is in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Right? Genesis 1:1. That's all we know. We don't know anything beyond that. Our beginning starts at Genesis 1:1. In the beginning God, what we know, what we understand. In our finite minds, right? Because we understand. All we understand is that everything had to have a beginning. And so this beginning right here is referring to Jesus' beginning. This is in the beginning, when everything that we know had a beginning. He was there. He was there. He always was. We'll go beyond that here. Which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, concerning the word of life. So this word of life we've already said is who? Who's that referring to? Jesus. The word of life. Where we see it in the Gospel of John, that's how John refers to the Lord Jesus. He refers to him as the Word. And John again refers to him here as the Word of life. Word of life.